Hello students, welcome to AffairsCloud.
We have an app called Careers Cloud which you can go and download it from the Play Store. So after downloading it, you can easily log in using your Gmail ID. Once you have logged in, you will be redirected to a home page which contains 4 tabs beneath it. One is Home, the other is All Courses, next is My Courses, and the last one is a Doubt Session. So under All Courses, you can access various types of courses like Reasoning, Quant, English, and also exam specific courses can also be accessed under this All Courses. If you click this Crack Current Affairs, you will be redirected to this page. So under this, you can see various tabs that are available. So here, if you see, the current affairs will be available in English medium, this under Hindi medium, and here banking awareness, we will provide you the monthly compilation of the banking news and current affairs exam PDF, and also special current affairs, which includes mainly the budget, the union budget, the economic survey, which is very important from the exam perspective. And this is topic wise content where that topics news related to the specific topic, they will be combined together and provided to you. For example, see appointments. All the appointments in that particular month will be combined together in a specific place. And similarly, in case of banking, economic news, so all will be combined together. So this will be easy for you to relate to each other news. Next, you can access the daily current affairs on a daily basis, weekly basis, and also on a monthly basis. So after reading the weekly or the daily news, you can also attend our quiz in order to strengthen your knowledge. Under the monthly current affairs, if you see, there are 2 types of PDF that are available. One is the pocket PDF, the other one is the normal PDF. This pocket PDF will give you a brief content of our current affairs, and this will provide you a detailed analysis of the current affairs. So it is always preferable to read this detailed analysis and then have a go through of this pocket PDF. Next is that we also provide you the PIB news apart from the current affairs. So you can go and access our PIB news on a daily basis from this path. And as I mentioned, this special CA covers very special topics like budgets and economic survey. After reading the content provided in this PDF, you can go and attend the quiz given below. And next is the exam perspective PDF. So if you see IBPS PO mains, IBPS RRB clerk, SBI clerk, so these are all exam perspective PDF. So if you go and check, these PDF will contain around 5 to 6 months of the current affairs, which has high chances of high chances of being asked in this SBI clerk mains exam. So it is very useful to go and read this PDF from an exam perspective point. Today we will be covering July 4th week banking and finance awareness news. Going to the first news. The first news is about a report that has been released by the World Bank. It is a very, very important report. The report is Global Findex Report. Okay, Global Findex Report released by the World Bank. So this, if you see, it is the 5th edition, and the title of this report is Connectivity and Financial Inclusion in the Digital Economy. Connectivity and Financial Inclusion in the Digital Economy. Remember, this is the 5th edition. So here, if you see this report, since 2011, it has been published every 3 years. Okay, so here, what is the purpose of this report, or what does it focus on? So it focuses on financial inclusion, how the adults globally access and utilize the financial services, whether they have the accounts, if they have the accounts, whether they are using the accounts, if they have internet connectivity, whether they are using the digital banking services, whether they are securely using the digital banking services. All these are covered under this report. So here, if you see, for this purpose, the World Bank had taken surveys. Okay, it had surveyed approximately 1,45,000 adults across 141 economies during the calendar year 2024. Okay, you don't have to remember this, but you have to remember this data published every 3 years. This is the 5th edition and the title of the report. Okay, these things you have to remember. So moving into the detail of the report. First, India's account ownership, if you see, it has risen to 89% in 2024 compared to just 35% in 2011. So account ownership means that person, either he has an account in a bank or a financial institution or a mobile money account. Mobile money account means that they have like electronic wallets are there, right? So they are a very good alternative to the bank accounts nowadays. Okay, so either of these. So here, if you see, the India account ownership is even more than the global account ownership. The global account ownership, if you see, it just stands at 79%. So we are even more than the global. 89%. Just remember the latest data, that is more than enough. India account ownership stands at 89% and global account ownership stands at 79%. Next, the global trends. So as of 2024, if you see 1.3 billion adults, okay, they do not have access to any of the banking services. So 1.3 billion adults, they do not have access to any banking services or financial services, and out of that, if you see, 700 million are women. Remember this data, it is very, very important. Okay, I am telling you, see, there are a lot of data that are going to be covered under this report. Okay, you don't have to remember each and every data, but there are certain data that you have to remember. This, if at all they don't ask you in the objective point of questions, this is very important from the descriptive point of questions. Okay, so if any descriptive related question related to this topic, if it comes, you can use this data, because World Bank, it is a very trusted institution, very important institution. If you quote the data from this report released by the World Bank, this will fetch you more marks. That is why I am telling, please note these data in a Excel sheet or in a Word document. Okay. Next, if you see, so 1.3 billion adults, they do not have access to the banking services, right? And from that 1.3 billion, if you see, more than 650 million adults, they are located in 8 countries. Those 8 countries are Bangladesh, China, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Mexico, Nigeria, and Pakistan. So in these 8 countries, this 650 million adults are located. And Europe and Central Asia, they have the largest share of women without accounts, that stands at 61%. So remember just this one, the 650 million people, they are located in the majorly 8 countries. Just remember that India is one of the 8 countries. That is enough. Inactive accounts. So inactive account status, if you see, though we have a very good account ownership, though the account ownership in India is way more than the global account ownership, but the inactivity, if you see, it is at 16%, which is way more than the global inactivity, which is just at 6%. What does this inactive account means? It means that the person has an account, but he has not used it for any purpose in the past 12 months. Okay, if he has not used his account for any purpose in the past 12 months, then that account is classified as an inactive account. Okay, if he has not done any financial transaction in the past 12 months, that account is classified as an inactive account. So the inactive account status in India is at 16%, way higher than the global status where it is just at 6%. And in case of low and middle income economies, if you see, excluding India, okay, this does not include India, it is somewhere between 3 to 4%. So here you have to remember the 16% number and the 6% number. These two numbers you have to remember. Next is mobile money. Okay, so mobile money, if you see, that has increased tremendously from 2% of adults globally using this mobile money account. In 2014, it has increased to 15% globally. Okay, and in case of low and middle income economies, if you see, it is 18%. Here, if you see, it is enough if you remember 15%. Even if you don't, it is okay. So we saw that 89% account ownership in India. So among that 89%, if you see, 88.7% they have accounts in banks or financial institutions, and remaining 23, and around 23.1% they have a mobile money account. So suppose there are total 100 people in our country. Okay, this is just for an example. Then 89 people, they have access to account. So from that 89, if you see, 88, okay, not from this 100, from this 89, 88% they have account in bank or financial institution, and 23.1% they have mobile money account. So if you can remember this data, well and good. Not okay, but this is also an important data. If you can remember, it is well and good. Next, gender gap. So due to this introduction of digital wallet and due to the introduction of this mobile banking, net banking, EC usage, the gender gap has also tremendously gone down. So globally, if you see, the gender gap is around only 4%. Low and middle income economies, if you see, it is at 5%. Remember the global data alone. So 73% of women, okay, in the low and middle income economies, they have account compared to just 66%. So in case of India, if you see, this is the mobile phone data. Okay, how many people in India have mobile phone? 66.5% of adults in India own a personal mobile phone. Okay, but not all are smartphone. Okay, if you see, only 42% have the smartphone. The remaining, they have the keypad phone. and 38.3% have enabled password. So reminding people who have a smartphone, they don't have a password enabled. So this raises security concerns. This is also a very important data. Though the digital initiatives are increasing, though the cyber security initiatives by the banks, by the government, by the RBI, everything is increasing, but still there are certain security concerns still occurring in India. Remember, this is very, very important. Next, if you see savings. So, since the account access has become easy, the formal way of saving, okay, previously if you see, if they have money, they would keep it in their house itself. But now, since the accessibility is becoming easier, now the formal mode of saving has also increased. So, in case of low and middle income economies, if you see, from 17% in 2011, it has increased to 40%. And in case of India, if you see, it has been 38.6% in the past year. This includes both formal and informal way. Okay. So here you don't have to remember the data, but just remember that the formal saving has increased due to the easy accessibility of the accounts. Digital payments. So India, if you see, around 54% adults have used digital payments in 2024, and digital merchant payment, if you see, this is the global data. Okay. When I don't mention India, then it is the global data. Previously, digital payment, if you see, 54%, it is India data. Here, digital merchant payment, if you see, with just 35% in 2021, it has increased to 42% in 2024. Okay. So, I know there's a lot of data in this report, but it is very, very important. Okay. And I have not told you to remember every data. Okay. I have told you which data is very important. You have to remember that data. If at all not an objective, this will surely help you in your descriptive question. Next is Credex and Canara Bank. They have partnered to enhance the MSME digital trade finance. So Credex, it is nothing but a TREDS platform. Okay. TREDS is Trade Receivable Discounting System. TREDS is Trade Receivable Discounting System. So RBI has given the license to Credex to operate as a TREDS platform. So this has partnered with Canara Bank for what purpose? To bridge the 30 lakh crore credit gap in the MSME sector. Now, what is the TREDS platform? So basically, I'll tell you with an example. There is a supplier. Okay. There is a buyer. So this supplier has sold his goods to the buyer, but the buyer has told that I will pay the money only after 2 months because I do not have the money. Okay. Now the supplier has the invoice, that is the unpaid invoice. So this is a TREDS platform. So you should know that there are basically 4 participants in the TREDS platform. One is the supplier. Next is the buyer. Third one is the financer. And last one is the insurance person. Okay, these are the 4 participants in the TREDS platform. So now the supplier enters the TREDS platform and here it auctions the unpaid invoice. Okay, say suppose the invoice amount is 1000 rupees. And there are a lot of financiers, financer 1, financer 2, financer 3. So each one will bid the invoice. Okay, say suppose financer 1 is telling I will give 900, financer 2 is saying I will give 920, financer 3 is telling I will give 950. So from this bidding, the supplier can choose, okay, whichever is more favorable for him. So obviously 950, it gives a higher amount, right? So the supplier will choose the financer 3. So the financer 3 will pay 950 to the supplier. And after 2 months, this financer 3 will get 1000 rupees from the buyer. Okay, so this helps in the cash flow, because here if you see MSMEs, they always have this cash flow shortage. So they require immediate cash. So this helps, this TREDS platform helps in converting the unpaid invoice into cash. Okay, this is the purpose of the TREDS platform. And to reduce the credit gap in the MSME sector, the Credex and the Canara Bank have signed a partnership. We have launched a new course called Static Banking Awareness course. Now this course will be helpful for students who are preparing for the banking exams and for the regulatory body exams. And also recently you would have seen Paytm Bank in news frequently. So when an aspirant reads this news, he would have ample number of questions like what is a payment bank, what are the norms for it, and which is the committee that has launched it. So this Static Banking Awareness course lays a foundation to the current banking and finance news. Now, you have to download our Careers Cloud to access this course. Once you have logged into our app, you can go and click this All Courses icon, and then you'll be redirected to this page. In this, you have to go and click the Static Banking Awareness course, and under the Details tab, you will be able to see a brief about this course.
and under the part tab, it will contain all the contents, all the topics of the contents that are currently available in this course. We are working on this continuously and this will be completed within 2 months. Under the free tab, you can go and access one content, that is the origin and development content, for free. You can go and read this content and have an idea about this course. After reading this content, do attend the quiz that is also available under the same tab. Now, our team has allocated ample amount of time and resources to curate this content. We have created this content from various books and from various verified websites. Our content is better than any book that is available in the market. This is because we update this content on a dynamic basis. For example, there are currently 39 DRTs that are available in the country now. In future, if one more DRT is created or added, then it would become 40. So we would update this content on a dynamic basis. But in case of books, you have to wait for the next publication for this updated content. Nowadays, a lot of practical questions have been asked in the banking exams. For example, how many public sector banks are available on the stock exchange? Which is the payment bank that is being listed on the stock exchange? So, we try to cover as many practical questions as possible in this course. Apart from this, we also provide you a question bank that will contain around 3000 questions and the previous year questions along with it. We also have a dedicated tab that will release the important RBI notification and the frequent news released by the RBI. You can use this code B15 to avail 15% discount. This is one of the highest discounts that we have offered until now. So do avail this code B15 while you purchase the course.
The next news is about an award. The Global Finance Magazine, which is a leading international financial publication. Remember, Global Finance Magazine, it has declared State Bank of India as the world's best consumer bank for 2025. Okay. So, who's the world's best consumer bank for 2025? It is State Bank of India. So, this award will be presented to the chairman of State Bank of India, who is C.S. Setty. Okay. And this award will be given to the chairman on 18th October 2025. So, if you see currently, as of March 2025, SBI caters to around 52 crore customers. The total deposits with State Bank of India stands at 53 lakh crore and total advances stands at 42 lakh crore. Now, we will look into the various other awards that have been declared. First, World's Best Bank, Societe Generale, which is in France. Next, World's Best Corporate Bank, BBVA, which is in Spain. Next, World's Best Emerging Market Bank, JP Morgan, USA. Next, World's Best Frontier Market Bank, same, Societe Generale. Next, last one is World's Best Sub-Custodian Bank, CICB Mellon, Canada. Next is about a SEBI's approval that has been given. So, SEBI has given approval to the Wealth Company Asset Management Holdings for what? To establish the mutual fund business. Okay. So, the Wealth Company Asset Management has now received the approval from SEBI to launch its mutual fund business. Now, this will be the youngest AMC to launch the mutual fund business. So, as of July 2025, if you see, there are 50 AMC actively operating in the India's mutual fund. The next news is about an approval. So, SEBI has also given approval to the Aurum PropTech Limited. Okay, Aurum PropTech Limited for what? To list the SME REIT schemes. Okay, to list their SME REIT schemes on the stock exchange. So, what is REIT? It is nothing but Real Estate Investment Trust. Okay, SM is small and medium. So, the main difference, I am sure you would have heard about REIT, right? So, what is the purpose of REIT? That is, they will invest people's money into various income generating properties. Okay, like malls, offices. So, in various properties which are very huge in investment and they also generate income. Income is nothing but the rent that is generated and that is given as rent, as the return to the investors. Okay, the difference between normal REITs and SM REITs is nothing but here they invest in properties which range between 50 to 500 crores. But here REITs, they invest in properties which are very huge, that is above 500 crores. That is the main difference between REITs and small and medium REITs. Okay, SM REITs and the other REITs. Now, SEBI has given the approval to the Aurum PropTech to enlist or to display or list the SM REIT schemes on the stock exchange. Next is Asian Development Bank. The Philippines-based Asian Development Bank has granted 975 crore to build infrastructure in 9 industrial areas in Tripura. So here, if you see, these are the 9 industrial areas. You just have to go through it. You don't have to remember it. Okay. What you have to remember here is ADB, 975 crores, the loan amount, and which state? Tripura. And for what purpose? To improve infrastructure. Okay. These are the only 4 things that you have to remember. Next is RBI, Reserve Bank of India, has granted the scheduled status to the NSDL Payment Bank. Okay, so NSDL Payment Bank has now received the scheduled status, which means that it is now placed in the second schedule of the RBI Act. Okay, so this bank is now placed in the second schedule of the RBI Act. So placing it in the second schedule of RBI Act means that now it will be able to borrow from the Reserve Bank of India under the MSF facility, and also it can participate in the LAF operation. LAF operation is nothing but repo rate, again the MSF, the standing deposit facility. So it can participate in various kind of operations. Okay, that is, can borrow money from the Reserve Bank of India under these kind of operations. Okay, so if you see, apart from NSDL, the other 4 banks, NSDL, it is the 5th payment bank that is placed in the schedule 2 of the RBI Act. The other 4 banks that are already placed in the second schedule are IPB, it is Indian Post Payment Bank, Fino Payment Bank Limited, Airtel Payment Bank Limited, and Jio Payment Bank. So these are the various other payment banks that have been granted the scheduled bank status. Next is RBI Permits Current C. Okay, it is an investment, Currency Investment BV, it is an investment company, to acquire 9.9% in the IDFC First Bank. The transaction value is 7,500 crores. Okay, in order to acquire 9.9% stake in the IDFC First Bank, the Currency C investments have paid 7,500 crores. Next is to reduce. The government, we know that they are in a path to reduce the RRBs, Regional Rural Bank. So from 196, it has been reduced to 28. So what is this one state, one RRB policy? It is nothing but to reduce the number of RRBs in each state to a single entity sponsored by a major public sector bank. Okay, so you know that there are mainly 3 stakeholders in any RRB, right? Who are they? State government, central government, and the sponsor bank, which is mostly the public sector bank. Okay, mostly. So here, if you see, you have to tell me in comment section what is the ratio of stakeholding between the state government, central government, and sponsor bank. Okay, you have to tell me that in the comment section. So here, if you see, it has happened. This consolidation, that is from 196 to 28, it did not happen in just one single phase. It happened in multiple phases. So phase 1, it happened in 2005 to 2010, where from 196 it was reduced to 82. Next, phase 2, 2012 to 2014, it was reduced to 56. Next, phase 3, 2019 to 21, it was reduced to 43. The last phase 4, which happened in May 2025, it got reduced from 43 to 28. Okay, so the consolidation of RRB, Regional Rural Bank, it happened in various phases. Next is Sebi, Securities Exchange Board of India, along with NSE. NSE is National Stock Exchange. So Sebi along with NSE, they have introduced a platform called Samuhik Prativedan Manch. Okay, Samuhik Prativedan Manch. So this is nothing but a centralized compliance reporting platform. So here, if you see, the stock brokers, they can submit their compliance or the data in this platform. So it is a unified reporting platform to simplify the compliance for the stockbrokers. So previously, if you see, if the stockbrokers, they have to submit compliance data, that is the traders data, the customers data, they have to submit in various sites, and also the formats also used to vary from one site to another. So it was quite difficult for the stockbrokers. So since now one single platform is there, it will now be very convenient for the stockbroker to submit the compliance reports, and this is effective from August 1st, 2025. Next is Equitas Small Finance Bank. They have launched 2 deposits. One is the FCNR. FCNR is Foreign Currency Non-Resident Deposit Account. Okay, so here if you see, the NRIs, people living outside India, they can deposit their money, foreign earnings, in this FCNR deposit. Okay, that is the feature of this FCNR. The one main thing is that FCNR can only be opened as a term deposit, that is as a fixed deposit. You cannot open as a savings deposit. Okay, it can only be opened as a term deposit with a minimum maturity period of 1 year. This is what is called as the FCNR. So here, if you see here, the currency in which the deposits are stored is the foreign currency, not in rupees. They are stored in the foreign currency. Suppose people who are residing in India, they want to say, suppose they want to deposit some 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs, then it will be stored in the form of the dollars, US dollars. Okay. Next is Equitas, US dollars or any other foreign currency also. Suppose they are staying in US and they are sending that money, then that will be stored in the form of US dollars. Okay. So here, if you see, next is Equitas Explorer Savings Account. So this one, if you see, there are two types under it. First is the NRE account. Next is the NRO account. NRE is nothing but non-resident external account and NRO is non-resident ordinary account. So here in the NRE account, you can send your foreign earnings in this account, and you can either open a savings account or also an FD account or an RD account. Okay, any type of account can be opened under this NRE account. So you can send money from abroad and you can save it under this NRE account. Okay, and there is no tax applicable on this account. Okay, whatever money is put into this account, is there any tax applicable? Will the government, Indian government, put any tax? No. No tax will be applicable because already the money that has been sent from that country itself, that country would have already taken the tax part, right? So here no tax is involved. Next is repatriation. You are bringing in the money. In future, say suppose after 1 year you want to take the entire money along with the principal and the interest. Can you do so? Yes, you can do so. There is no limit on the repatriation. Okay, this is what is called the NRE account. Next, the NRO account. So here it is to manage the Indian income. Say suppose you have an house here and that house is giving you a rent every month, then where will you put that rent? So that rent will be put into this NRO account. Similarly, you have bought certain shares, it gives you dividend, or maybe you are a pensioner person, you receive pension every month. Where will that pension go? It will go into this NR account. Okay. Next, is the tax applicable? Yes, tax is applicable on the amount in this account. Okay, on the interest that is being provided by this account, the tax is applicable. Next, repatriation. Can the entire amount be repatriated to the other country? No, it cannot be. Okay, there is a limit. The limit is 1 million USD. Okay, this is for the financial year. For financial year, if you see how much money can be repatriated from the NRO account, 1 million USD. These are the main difference between NRE account and the NRO account. Okay, so these are the accounts that have been launched by the Equitas Small Finance Bank. Next is PhonePe. It has partnered with the SBI card and it has launched two co-branded credit cards. Okay, first one is the PhonePe SBI card purple. Next one is PhonePe SBI card select black. The difference, if you here see, under this SBI card purple, a welcome e-gift voucher of rupees 1500 will be provided on joining time, and also a travel voucher worth rupees 5000 will be provided on annual spend of 5 lakhs and above on the travel. And under the SBI card select black, if you see, a e-gift voucher of 500 and a travel voucher of 3000 on annual spend of 3 lakhs and above. Okay, this is the main difference between these two cards. So here main thing that you have to remember is the two parties name, that is PhonePe and SBI card, and the credit card names also SBI, PhonePe SBI card purple and PhonePe SBI card select black. Okay, these are the two co-brand credit cards that have been launched by the PhonePe and the SBI card. Next, if you see, the Reserve Bank of India has released provisional data regarding the gross NPA of whom? Of the public sector banks. NPAs are nothing but they are bad loans. Okay, they are the loans where the principal and the EMI or the interest, they have been stopped. Okay, the borrower failed to make any of these payments. Those are called as the NPAs. So here, if you see, the gross NPA of the public sector banks, it has reduced from 9.11%. which amounts to 6.16 lakh crores of gross NPA in financial year 21 to 2.58% in financial year 25, which amounts to 2.83 lakh crore. Okay, you don't have to remember this data, 6.16 lakh crore, but you have to remember this data. Okay, because this is the latest one. Financial year 25, if you see, 2.58%, and the amount is 2.83 lakh crore. Please remember these two data. It is very, very important. I'm telling it once again. The gross NPA ratio in financial 25 is 2.58%, and in value terms, if you see, it is 2.83 lakh crore. Next, if you see, the Reserve Bank of India has released the Financial Inclusion Index. Okay, this, if you see, it is released every year in the month of July. The first Financial Inclusion Index, it was released in August 2021. It does not have any base value. Okay, no base value is there, and also it has three main parameters. One is the access, usage, and quality. Okay, these are the three parameters of the Financial Inclusion Index. Access have a weightage of 35%, usage 45%, and quality the remaining 20%. So usage has the maximum weightage. Okay, these are the main static information that you have to know about the financial inclusion. And the financial inclusion value, if you see, that varies between 0 to 100. 0 indicates a complete financial exclusion. Financial exclusion, it means that no one has access to bank accounts, no one has access to bank services. That is what financial exclusion means. 100 score means that 100% financial inclusion, that is the people living in that particular area, everyone have access to the banking services. That is what it means. Okay, so here 0 is financial exclusion and 100 is financial inclusion, 100% financial inclusion. Okay, so if you see, that value have slightly improved from 64.2 in March 2024 to 67 in March 2025. Okay, so here you have to remember the latest value, it is 67, and first time it got published was in August 2021, and it has been published every year. Next is PayPal, which is a US based global payment platform. It plans to launch PayPal World. Okay, this year the PayPal World will be launched. For that, it has partnered with NIPL, that is the NPCI international arm. Okay, NIPL is nothing but the international arm of NPCL, National Payment Corporation of India, and also Mercado Pago. This is also a financial payment platform. Next, Tenpay Global of China and Venmo, a subsidiary of PayPal. Okay, so it has collaborated with these four people. Now, what is the purpose here? This platform, that is the PayPal World, the purpose of this is to link the various digital payment systems like the UPI in India and also the digital wallets across the world. So how will this actually be useful? I'll tell you with a live, real-time example. Okay, say suppose there is a person who is browsing on an online store of a US cloth shop. Okay, online store of a US cloth shop. This is a person in India. Okay, so he has purchased a cloth and he wants to make a payment. So he goes to the payment page. So under the payment page, this PayPal World will be there. Okay, so he has to click this PayPal World, and after that the UPI payment option will be there. So he has to click the UPI payment option and give his UPI ID, and then his payment will be processed. So this is such a hassle-free payment. So this is what will be introduced in this PayPal World. Okay, so when this is introduced, you will be able to understand. This is still in process. Okay, this year it is planning to be introduced. Next is about the projection, GDP projection by the Asian Development Bank. So recently the Asian Development Bank outlook, July outlook got released. Previous outlook was released in April month. Okay, compared to the April forecast, now it has been reduced. So if you see, in April the forecast was 6.7%. Okay, 6.7% was the GDP forecast, but now it has been reduced to 6.5%, and the main reason for this reduction is the tariff, US tariff, and the policy uncertainty. Okay, because of this only the reduction is observed in the GDP forecast. But in spite of this reduction, India still remains the fastest growing major economy. Okay, though the GDP forecast has been reduced compared to the forecast made in April, still India will be the fastest growing major economy. Similarly, this is for financial year 25. Okay, for financial year 26, if you see, it is expected to grow. India is expected to grow at the rate of 6.7%, and the inflation in 2025 for India is expected to be around 3.8%. Okay, this is financial year 25 GDP forecast, and this 6.7% in financial year 26 GDP forecast, And the inflation, if you see, in 2025, it is expected to be around 3.8%. Next is about an appointment. So the ACC, Appointment Committee of the Cabinet, which is headed by the Prime Minister. So he has appointed Ajay Seth as the new IRDAI chairman. Okay, so Ajay Seth will be the new IRDAI chairman. So before Ajay Seth, if you see, if it was Debasish Panda. Okay, Debasish Panda was the IRDAI chairman. So he resigned in March 2025, and after that it was only vacant. So now Ajay Seth will fill the vacancy. Remember, Ajay Seth will be the new IRDAI chairman.
Thank you for watching the session. I hope you had enjoyed it. We're also available in Telegram under the name AffairsCloud_official. We also have an Instagram handle. Thank you.